A long list of AMA Superbike road racing champions. I mean, names like Cooley, Lawson, Rainey, Schobert, Schwantz, Duhamel, Hayden, Spies, Hayes, Gagne, and others. One name stands out above the rest: Australian Mat Mladin.
In what is often called the most significant decade of domination in road racing history, from 1999 to 2009, Matt Mladin notched 7 AMA Superbike titles and won 82 AMA Superbike Nationals in the process. Each of those numbers more than anyone in history.
Mladin also won the legendary Daytona 200 3 times during that period, an achievement that places him third on the all-time list, behind Motorcycle Hall of Famers and multi-time Daytona 200 winners Scott Russell and Miguel Duhamel.
Mladin began riding and racing motorcycles at an early age, winning a motocross title in 1981 and going on to win the Australian Superbike Championship in '92. That led to a brief stint with Cagiva in the 1993 500cc World Championship.
Then 3 years later, he moved to the U.S., starting out with Yoshimura Suzuki before moving on to the Fast by Faraci Ducati squad in '97, a season in which he won 4 races.
He reunited with Yoshimura Suzuki in 1998 and in '99 won his first of 7 AMA Superbike titles, achievements that would make him, according to Moto America, the most dominant rider in the history of the AMA Superbike Championship.
Mladin announced his retirement during his championship-winning 2009 season. Quote, "I didn't retire because I wasn't quick enough," he said later in a Cycle News interview. "I retired because I'd had enough. I will miss riding the motorcycle and the competition."
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Mladin.
Presenting the Hall of Fame ring tonight to Matt is Hall of Famer Ben Spies.
You want to stand with me right there? Thank you, Ben.
Okay, I'm going to add a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'm not a good public speaker, so y'all can laugh at me like my wife does and make it a little bit easier. But so early 2000, it was my first test with the real teams. I was 15 years old. And the only thing I can remember is I walked down a pit wall and I was watching all the Superbike riders come out of the last corner. And every lap that he came out was different from everybody else. I mean, clutch was slipping, bike was sliding, he was jumping over the grass, dirt was coming up. And, you know, as a racer, I walked back, you know, to my RV and I'm thinking, what have I got myself into? Because at some point I've got to do that, right? So it was just, that was a big eye-opener for me, and that was the first time I got to see him ride in person. So 3 years later, we ended up being teammates, and want to say thank you for everything I was, you know, taught by you. So that was good. So getting to the point, Matt, in recognition of your 7 AMA Superbike titles, 82 Superbike national wins, and a decade of history-making road racing dominance, it's our honor to induct you into the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Congrats.
Can I help you? Yeah, let's get the whole ensemble. There we go. All right, do that again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Firstly, just like to say thoughts and prayers with everybody that's suffering through the last few hurricanes on the east coast of America. Hope they're all doing well. It looks terrible down there, but they're in our thoughts. Secondly, I'd like to say that I was inducted into the Motorsports Hall of Fame in Australia 9 years ago, and last year I was inducted into the inaugural New South Wales Motorcycle Hall of Fame. There was 13 of us inducted, many names that you would know that have done well here in America, and also around the world. And out of the 13 of us, together, we didn't speak for as long as what Kevin just spoke then. Good on you, Kev. Congratulations, mate. I'd like to thank the AMA and the Hall of Fame and everyone that voted for me to get my little place here amongst all these legends that have come before and here tonight. Congratulations to all of you. You don't have to roll that, I already said that, come on. To all my lovely guests seated down here, thank you for coming and sharing in this night with me. I noticed there's a few missing, and yes, they are from parts of the hurricane-affected areas. So I hope they're doing fine. I haven't heard from them, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. There are a few people here tonight that I want to mention because they played a pretty big role in my career, pretty much from day one. One of the photos you just seen up there with this wanker-looking 19-year-old me. From that time through till I finished, until I retired racing. Firstly, I'd like to, my time racing with Ben was crucial for me personally. For me to realise that I made the most out of my racing career. Before Ben came along, I was like most people. I'd won a championship here and there, but I think I left some stuff on the table. But in those dozen years, Ben is a dozen years younger than me, and he was the next generation. So I had to up my game, and I had to work harder. I'm trying to read this silly thing that I wrote back here, and it's just not even right. So I had to up my game, and I had to work harder. And because of that, Kevin spoke a little bit before, and it brought me to tears a little bit about life after racing. It was that struggle and the battle that I put myself through, and to work harder and to try and be as good and as fast as Ben, to compete with Ben. And fortunately, for a few years, I held my own. We got some race wins, and probably part of helping to develop Ben into the racer that he became and went over to Europe and done so well for himself. Secondly, and let's keep rolling that. The next bloke that was sort of fairly instrumental in my career, and he doesn't even really know it. I spoke to him about it many years ago, is Kevin Swans. When I first, I appreciate you making the trek here, Kev, as I'm sure many people here tonight are. You're an absolute legend, and I've looked up to you for a long time. When I started road racing in 1990, I ran the famous number 34. I tried to purchase a Suzuki RGV 250, the Pepsi version that Kev was racing overseas in the Grand Prix class at the time. They were all sold out, and I was pissed. I was a motocross racer before my road career, and thought road racers were pussies. And I hadn't watched a Grand Prix race since my old man stopped forcing me to actually watch them. But I remember watching Kev a few years earlier, and his style and flamboyance left a mark in my grey matter. Not that there's much left, so the number 34 was for me. Kev did a lot of passing under braking back in the early days, and throughout his whole career. It's amazing watching him back the thing into the corners and skipping past people. And funnily enough, that became a strong point in my career also. I'm heading to Austin next week to spend a few days with Kev and catch the F1 GP, so I'm humbled to actually be able to hang out with Kev for a few days, so thanks, mate. I was told Miguel was going to be here. Did he show up? Just scroll through this bit. Jesus. I was going to bury the hatchet tonight too, but... Anyway, Anyone in the industry that knows me and remembers my racing days knows that I brought a lot of good men/mechanics into the Oshimura Suzuki team, and also knows that I always gave those blokes the credit for my success. Without the team of men I assembled, I don't believe I'd have come close to winning as much as I managed to do. I'm still in touch. Oh, God. Where to go? I'll ad-lib the next bit. I'm still in touch with all of the blokes. We're still good mates. And when they heard that I was being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, I said to them, well, what do you reckon, guys? Why don't you come over? And, you know, I mean, all these guys, we go back from 1992, so we pretty much worked together for 16 to 17 years, pretty much most of us. And I said, why don't you guys come over? And all of them pretty much turned their head to the side and scrunched up their face and said, Mladin who? Wasn't that appreciative. It's only been 15 years. Anyway, after that they all told me to F off. Anyway, these accolades now mean so much more to me because I get to share them with my beautiful daughters, Emily and Jessica. They were 6 and 3 years old when we left the USA, so they don't remember too much about what Dad used to do, so sharing this night with them is extra special. I love you, my daughters. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. You were real quick. You were about to go, but I like the little spin there. Yeah, that was good. Hearing that was incredible. And I actually have 2 questions for you because you know the answers to them. I thought that you and Ben Spies had a really intense rivalry. Yep. Is that you did?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, for sure. We had a very intense rivalry. When Ben came into the factory Suzuki team, I was mid-30s by then, and then clearly Ben was very fast, and straight away, you know, the media and everybody's like, oh, it's time for Mladin to retire. And I kind of worked on that type of thing in America my whole career here, where people would say, you can't, and I'd say, yeah, well, fuck you, I can. So that was kind of my thing. And I worked harder, and I pushed hard, and as I said, through that little bit of thing there, if it wasn't for Ben, and not sure I would have got the most out of myself through my career. So yes, we had a very intense rivalry on the track, but his friendship to me now means everything.
Incredible. That's incredible. And we also...
Yeah, we want to ask you too,
Yeah.
what, of all your wins, what was the one that was most special to you? What was personal to you? Was there one that stands out?
No.
That's an answer? Okay.
Oh, man, put me on the spot, Christ. There was 82 of them, so there was a few to try and pick from. Listen, there's obviously here in the United States, Daytona was always a big one. It was not my favourite place to go and race. Well, when I got to America and seen all the walls and seen all that stuff, it kind of blew my mind. Uh-huh. But I know in the American Championship at least, and from probably before my time in America in the mid-90s, before that, 70s and 80s, Daytona was a huge race, and everybody came here to race the Daytona 200. So, you know, I won a few of those, and so they were pretty special.
Incredible. Yeah. Matt, thank you so much for sharing your time and your stories. And again, congratulations on your induction. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Mladin.
Congratulations, Matt.
Congratulations.
Great.
Very